So you want to know how to create a Fanganronpa, but don't know where to start, how to start, when to start, who to start with, what to start with, and why you should even start in the first place. Hiyo, this is Fox, and I'll guide you on the right path. And now, before you start your own, before you start the art, the recruitment for VAs, the artists, and editors, before you can release statements on social media indicating and showing off what you want to do, you gotta know the essentials. First off, what's a Fanganronpa? Well, as the name suggests, a fan-made Danganronpa. A fan Danganronpa. A Fanganronpa. Fanganronpa. But what's a Danganronpa? Well, obviously if you're here now, you probably know what it is, so forget about that. Now before I show you the process of making one, I must tell you about the 5 W's. The who, what, when, where, and why. Why is this important? Because it is. Hear me out, alright? The purpose of telling you this is to ensure you're ready to make one, by giving an outline and process while explaining several key components that might just save your life. Of course, if you're stubborn and don't care whether you fail or not, go to this timestamp to quickly go to the how to make one part of the video, although I do recommend staying for what I have to say. Let's first start off with the who in a Fanganronpa. No, not the characters and OCs. The who I'm referring to in this sentence are the team members. In other words, the people who are going to help you in this project. Whether it may be artists, editors, etc. These are the roles you want helping you during your Fanganronpa. It is highly recommended not to do everything by yourself. Even if you think you can do everything easily or don't trust anyone else, I still believe being the lone wolf here is a bad idea. Of course, many of you may not want to spend a lot or anything at all on this project, but rest assured there are plenty of volunteers out there somewhere eager to help you. The two most important roles you will need are the artists and the editors. In reality, these are really the only two roles you need to create a Fanganronpa. Sure, you can make things nicer by adding other roles, but these are the two roles that are absolutely necessary. And it's possible to create one with just these two. But if you really want to spice things up with BGM, with background music, lots of voice lines, cool animations and whatnot, consider adding composers, voice actors, animators, and story writers if you may. However, it is best to search for these later on in the project, and it does not take first priority. Let's move on to the what of the Fanganronpa. This is where everything about your Fangan applies. The story, the plot, the trials, the characters, the deaths, the universe, the dialogue, the ideas, everything and anything that can be written down applies here. Have you gotten all your character ideas yet? Their talent? Their personalities? Their appearance? Perhaps their deaths? If so, congratulations, you are 1% done with your Fangan. I apologize for sounding sarcastic, but it's truth. Many of you are at this exact stage. You create your characters and somewhat got a story going, but kind of lost your way? Guessing that's why most of you are here. So what else are you going to need here? Well, here is the when of the Fanganronpa. When? When what? When do I start? Should I start now? No, not yet. Well, I guess since it's your Fangan, I guess you can call yourself the director of the project. It's up to you for when you can start the project, but you have to be ready. If you have people working under you, you have to be prepared. Almost like a teacher who's about to give a lesson to their students. They must prepare in advance so they can do the work. If an artist who's about to draw one of your characters asks about what that character should look like, and you hit them with that, "I don't know," line, heads will not only turn, but they also roll, for they may question if you are even ready for this kind of project. If you want to hire a voice actor but only have 3 lines in mind for them to read, the flexibility of the character is extremely limited to what that voice actor can do. For example, you can create a quiet character and find a voice actor who can only do quiet voice acting. Then later on, you want that character to be able to snap after they've been accused of being the culprit. The voice actor can't do that though. They cannot change their voice this way because they're incapable of changing face. They applied because they thought they were going to be quiet most of the time. Sort of like Himiko's character or Chihiro's. In short, the keyword for this part is to prepare. Make sure everything is sorted out before you even start making a Fanganronpa. Next up is the where of the Fangan. It's hard to find questions for this part, let alone finding the answers to the few that come up. The premise of this part lies within you, and you alone. When you're playing an RPG game like, per se, Pokemon, you might ask questions like, where can I get strong Pokemon? Where's the next town? Where do I get a Master Ball? Where's the cheat codes? In these examples, you are trying to find something you need to advance further, get stronger so you can beat the game. The same applies to making a Fangan. You need to find something in order to advance further, and make your your Fangan stronger. The questions you have to ask are, where can I find artists or voice actors? Where can I learn to create stories? Where can I get inspiration? If I were to tell you the best places to find the answers to these, you would only search those areas and nothing else. Or at least that's what I think will happen. I want you to find out. If you're going to lead a team on the adventure of a lifetime, I need you to be able to gain some experience beforehand. Look up videos that suggest good software engines, search up websites that may provide good intelligence, conjure up a social media account to recruit team members. If you can't do that by yourself, it'll be really hard to continue onwards. However, if I were to give some advice, it's best to ask other Fangan creators for their advice. Creating Fangans is not a competition. Everyone is always eager for both ongoing and new coming projects. Each creator hopes to have theirs shine, as well as others, but they all share a common goal, increase the community. Or at least that's what I think. Anyway, don't be afraid to ask some creators for their advice. I may not speak for all of them, but they're willing to help out a friend in need. The last W for this would be the why of the Fangan. You probably know where I'm going with this. I'll put it simply into a 3-word sentence. You, Fanganronpa. Why? Why you do this? No, not why are you doing this or why do you want to do this, it's why you do this. Make sense? So why are you creating a Fangan? Ask yourself that. Or have a friend ask you that. If you have one, that is. So I'll give you a few seconds. So, got your answer? If it's a long and complicated answer like, oh, I played all 3 games and watched the anime and I really think I can expand the story, especially when the Future Foundation involved in the whole expanding, I believe Despair will also expand to the point where there'll be a clash between the two forces of nature that exist to counteract each other, and that's where a Fangan takes place. Well, kudos to you then. A very righteous reason indeed. But if it's something as simple as, oh, I created 16 students and so that they can die, my audience can die, and so I can die. But, not to be a prick or anything, but are you really sure you're ready for this? It's not about if you feel or know that you're ready. It's actually about if you are really, really ready for this. Make sense? If I were to put it bluntly, are you willing to spend possible years doing this? Now, I don't want to discourage most of you out of creating a Fangan, but the hard truth is the hard truth. Imagine creating your Fangan. You got 16 alleged students ready, their sprites, their VAs, their dialogue, etc. Along with countless other things such as background music, backgrounds, and well, backs in general. You set up everything perfectly. You have a huge following on social media. You already dropped down some sneak peek videos and trailers on YouTube, and you're almost ready to drop down the big one, the prologue. Just need an extra 2 months of work and you'll be, wait a minute, 2 more months? You've already been working for, let's say, 10 months already? You got everything basically set up already. Like, legit, everything's already set up. You have it rendering right now, but you have to wait 2 more months? You see, that it requires another 2 months just to release a prologue. You feel as if your long-term motivation is like shrinking. As you would have spent a whole year just for the first video, you start losing hope, and instead, you start to be filled with despair. With this despair, you either do one of 3 things. Number 1, delay the project. Many people delay their projects due to work or school, but others simply do it because of mixed feelings. This could range from super happy emotions to extremely docile emotions. The creator's feelings towards the project may sway them to delay the finished project in order to clear the mind or mentally prepare themselves. This option often comes up with the creator posting somewhere about their future absence. ensuring the audience that they are going to have to wait a little longer, asking for their patience and understanding the process. This is obviously the most peaceful solution. However, there's also option number 2, leaving the project. When I say leave, I don't mean permanently. In most cases, it's just temporarily. Fairly similar to situation 1, except the creator doesn't tell their audience about their future absence. Possibly weeks to months of no progress on the project may signify that the creator has gone MIA, or missing in action, and left without a word. This may spark the biggest conflict, as the audience may be fairly confused as to what has happened. Even team members of the project may not know what has happened. But usually the creator may come back after a period of time, apologizing, then explaining their situation. They then may be able to continue the works, or they may end up doing something else completely, with like option number 3, shutting down the project. This is an extremely rare case, where this often occurs in smaller fangames, as the viewer base may seem too small for them to continue. However, there are other unique cases where projects were shut down. If you're familiar with both Danganronpa Blowback and Danganronpa Reaper voices, those are examples of unique cases. However, there are also times where the creator feels as if they do not want to continue anymore. They lost all motivation, not just a little, but all their motivation. They feel as if the time placed into the project isn't just worth it, or they simply don't feel as if they themselves would not do a good job and disappoint their audience. But there's also one huge factor that may tie into a shutdown. I don't know how to put this, nor do I want to put this out there, but I feel like this is an important topic to talk about. Depression. You may not know it, but under very critical circumstances, it is possible that a creator or any team members of that sort could have depression. According to statistics, about 1 in 20 people in the world have reported that they have depression. Decreasing numbers further for those who have depression but don't say anything about it, and can get up to 1 in 15 people in the world who have depression. For every 15 Fangan projects you're probably following on Twitter, one of the creators of those projects might have depression. Why am I bringing up such a somber topic? Because I want to reach out to all you fans out there, all of whom are impatient or harsh on creators. You may say things like, when's the next chapter going to be released? Why are you guys so slow? You're doing irrelevant things unrelated to the project. Why can't you just focus on the project instead? The art style looks terrible. This character design is awful. Why'd you kill my favorite character? You guys are so bad. Like, all these negative emotions, no matter if it's intentional or not, always, and I mean always, reach the team. The team spends months or even years creating a spectacle for everyone to see, most of which are doing it for no benefit at all besides the satisfaction of success. They look forward to seeing the positive comments and encouragement received wherever they may see them, but if they were to see such negative emotions towards their hard work, they may feel discouragement, sadness, disappointment, and of course, depression. This could lead some team members to leave the project entirely or delay it further because they simply do not have the willpower to continue their work. All because some people don't appreciate the hard work someone's put into it. So I encourage you all to be positive towards the others, not only towards content creators, but everyone in general. You don't know who has depression, and what we have seen recently does not change the fact that anyone, and I mean anyone, can have depression. Shine your smile to everyone, carve your compliments onto any unsuspecting individual, and most of all, save money, live better, Walmart. Wait, what the hell? We can't end things on such a happy note. I didn't even explain to you about the 6W, the how of the Fanganronpa. So for this part, after learning about all the other W's, unless you skipped all of that, I will now demonstrate the simplicity of creating a YouTube video series for your Fangan. As you probably already know, the majority of the Fangan projects are created on the video format that is edited to look like gameplay of the actual Fangan. While it's not actual gameplay, rather just showing what your Fangan is in a much less gaming way, what you probably want to figure out is the editing process. The art process is pretty simple, as all you gotta do is draw your characters, easy peasy. So what about the next step, the editing process? Here, let me show you. So I'm just a normal citizen. I want to create a Fanganronpa. First, let's create a scene. Those common scenes you see that invite conversations. What you first gotta do is create your art sprites. Since I'm not good at drawing, I'm gonna just borrow Creativity. Swoop. You will also need a good background. So I'm gonna just borrow you, copy, save. Nice. Now you got two things down. Now you just need a dialogue box. Ooh, snagged. Some subtitles. Boop. Now place in your sprites and background. Ta-da! おめでとうございます。そんなのは素晴らしいものを作りました。What the hell did I just say? But behold, your very own scene created in less than a minute. Hooray! Simple and clean is the way that it's making me feel tonight. But it looks a little too simple and clean. Like, you guys are probably looking for the juicy ones, the one with music, transitions, dialogue, voice actors, everything. So how do we go from something so simple to something so complicated? So first, you need the following things. Character sprite, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe even more. Background decals, can be hand-drawn or borrow something off the internet for some reference. I'll be using these as my background decals for this example. You need background music. As for the music thing that appears at the top left, which shows the song thing right here, you may need to find that off the internet as well. I believe they're called music visualization, so grab that for reference. You would also want a standard background. This is different and separate from the decals, which I'll show why later. And of course, you need a good or decent enough HDMI/UI. That's the text box for which you're gonna put in your subtitles. And lastly, a good video editing engine. As I mentioned before, there are other videos out there that can tell you what kinds of good softwares to use, as my own preference may differentiate from person to person. But the software I'll be using for today is one to share from Mora 9. Link will be in the description for that one. And so, you got all the pieces. Now time to solve the puzzle. Is what I would like to tell you. But this process actually takes a while. Truth be told, that I tried my hand at actually creating the background and everything, but like, as you can see, I'm really bad at it. I've been trying for at least an hour already, trying to create the background, add in the transitions and everything, but I was getting nowhere. I had no experience in creating such things. Main problems were the perspective, because I would have the backgrounds and everything, but then the perspective in which the layout of the actual models and walls that I had did not line up at all with what I wanted to have, so everything was disproportionate, and everything that I've been trying to do as I was envisioning it in my head did not go as planned. So for me, it was a bit difficult, but the main problem was not the editing software or my own skills. It was the modules that I was given, because if I were to draw my own modules and backgrounds, then I might be able to create something fascinating if I were to add the transitions and everything. But with the skills I have right now and the time that I was given, I wasn't able to create one. However, don't let that discourage you. Most editors are in teams of 2 or 3. I really don't have experience, so I can't show off firsthand what exactly to do yet. However, in the future, when I'm more used to video editing and designs for my own background and details, I will then create another more useful tutorial on how to make a scene. I could spend more time trying to do this but I'm just not having a lot of time doing things lately, so the time will come where I will be able to give a proper lesson on scene making. But for now, I've just given some basic steps. Held your hand until the training wheels come off, and while also getting ran over by the same bicycle, whatever. And I apologize if this is not exactly what you wanted, probably saying right now that you wasted your time. Again, I apologize. I will make up for it once I have more time to do things. I plan on making Fanganronpa tutorials in the future, most notably how to make specific scenes and eventually how to draw your own original characters. Then again, that will in fact take a while to come to pass. So I hope your patience is as good as mine. I'll be looking forward to my progress as well as yours. If you have your own Fanganronpa, I wish you the best of luck. If you need help on anything, you could ask me or anyone else in the community. Comments here in the video is currently the best way to contact me. You'll also get feedback from other users as well, which is also another plus. In the future, I'll set up a thread in which it answers most questions people have asked in the past. And yeah, that'll do it for this video. Shout out to all the Fanganronpas I've implemented in this video: Danganronpa Blowback, Rebirth Voices, Kill Cure, Coward's Paradise, Twisted Truths, Shattered Hope, and of course what you saw in the background for most of the video was Danganronpa Dedication. And if you haven't seen the prologue yet, I strongly recommend doing so. Link for their channel will also be in the description. If you have any thoughts, ideas, questions, criticisms, corrections, and whatnot, please do so in the comment sections. This is the best way to support me by giving me more motivation and also more motivation to others as well. All hate is accepted, but not too much, alright? Also, if you want to know, my next video will be about how to survive a Danganronpa killing game, except of course with a twist. Stay tuned for it, and as always, I bid you guys farewell.